Okay. I hope she's speaking facts.
I want some rest. Are we having fun yet?
I'm rarely hopeful when I come across these videos because people that aren't San Antonio Spurs fans usually don't know what they're talking about, but I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I like literally I just come across so many videos where I just get irritated. Now don't get me wrong, like when it comes to me, it's not like I know every single thing when it comes to San Antonio Spurs basketball. Obviously I don't. Okay, that would be very disingenuous if I alluded to knowing everything about the Spurs, but man, there's so many people that just have no idea what's going on, and then they'll just dive straight into like everything San Antonio Spurs related. Not saying that's what she's gonna do. I hope she just speaks facts. You guys sent this to me about a week ago, and I'm just now getting to it. But this is the heat check by Trista Crick, I think. Sorry if I pronounce. If she ever sees this video, I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. But yeah, Trista Crick. So we'll listen to this and see what she has to say about the whole DJ situation. Apparently, it says Dejounte Murray buries Spurs. So that's a title right there. Now, really quickly, I'm going to just mention this because I mention it like every few seconds, okay? If I don't advertise, like no one's going to do it for me, okay? So just letting you guys know, if you want to support the channel, I do have t-shirts that I'm creating pretty soon. I have the designs ready. I just got the shipment of white tees. So right now, I'm just starting off with white tees, okay? So inventory is going to change, but that's all we can do right now. So as time goes on and, you know, you guys support, I'll be able to add more colors and add the more designs, but as it stands right now, I'm just going to use 2 designs and we'll see how that goes. But just be on the lookout for it. That's what I'm doing. But I appreciate all the love nonetheless. All right, so let's go ahead and listen to what Trista has to say about the San Antonio Spurs. Oh boy, I hope it's good.
No organization seen as more first class than the San Antonio Spurs. They are held up as one of the best organizations in the league in terms of talent evaluation, in terms of development, in terms of coaching,
True.
in terms of success.
True.
There are more head coaches in the NBA right now that come from the Greg Popovich tree than anyone else in the league.
True. Oh my goodness. She's absolutely right.
They are the gold standard.
We are.
In terms of Pop, R.C. Buford, first class organization.
First class.
Exactly the words that Dejounte Murray once used to describe the team when he was traded to the Hawks last week.
He was BSing when he did that. He was absolutely BSing. He was disingenuous the entire time. DJ kind of has this thing where, and people actually point this out to me after I did the video that DJ wasn't a Spur. People pointed this out, and I didn't even notice it. Usually when he has a breakup of any regards, whether it be a family member, whether it be like interpersonal relationship, just anything, okay, any type of breakup, he immediately afterwards start talking trash about the person he was with or whatever. And I think he did the exact same thing to us. And that's where that came from. It was nothing less, nothing more. Okay, it wasn't that deep.
I think that was last week. That's why, and that's what makes this new news so bizarre. So we know, this is what we know, if you're paying attention. Spurs are currently in tank mode. We know this why. Every piece that they had on their team that was of any value, they've moved off of. They've gotten away from LaMarcus Aldridge. They got rid of DeMar DeRozan. They got rid of Derek White. They got rid of Dejounte Murray. They got rid of Lonnie Walker, all in the span of a little more than a year.
Did we get rid of Lonnie Walker? We didn't really get rid of Lonnie Walker. His contract just was up. That's it. We didn't really get rid of Lonnie Walker. I don't know if I buy that one. I don't think Lonnie wanted to be with us anyway by that last season. Honestly, I'm at this point, okay? The Spurs have won so many games previously in different eras. And people can say, well, that was the Tim Duncan era. No, we were great even 2017, okay? We went to the Western Conference Finals. I'm sorry. It's just the talent. That's it. The Spurs just need the talent. That's all. That's the only problem. It's just the talent. Anyone that has a problem with the system, I'm sorry. I don't care. Until it proves me wrong, the system has worked, okay? You can't sit here and just try to use this vague argument on how the system doesn't work for you to start pointing out like random facts like, well, Kawhi Leonard left without any type of context of what was going on at that time, or if people use Becky Hammond left without any type of context. Like, come on, man. It's not everything is the system. Don't blame everything on the system. I'm not saying she's doing that, obviously. I'm ranting.
That's not for no reason. They are tanking for a guy named Victor Wembanyama. Wembanyama. That's it. 7'5" kid out of Paris. Plays like no one you've ever seen. And they want him, so that's fair. And they're probably going to be rebuilding for a minute because they're getting a lot of first round draft picks, and they're trading off these pieces. So
it's kind of funny that like all of us have already assumed that we're tanking for Wembanyama, which I don't disagree with, but there's a lot of talent. From what I've heard, there's a lot of talent in this upcoming draft, 2023 draft. It's not just Wembanyama. Like if the Spurs end up being fourth draft, I mean in the draft, you know what I'm saying. If they're 4th or 5th in the draft with the 4th, 5th pick or whatever, they're still in great shape. You could very well still get a superstar. I believe that the lottery is jam-packed with potential stars. While this previous lottery was really deep and you could get players that were really great late in the first round, this upcoming year, it's a little different. It's just that the lottery is going to be really great, but it's not as much depth later on. So that's what I've heard. So.
Final shoe to drop where we knew they were tanking for real was Dejounte.
For real.
People thought, oh, even if they're rebuilding, they'll build around Dejounte. It's like the SGA.
If anyone believed that, they didn't know what they were talking about. I've been saying that for the longest. Building around DJ never made sense to me. If the Spurs were going to do that, we would still be mediocre. Because what you would do then, building around DJ would have looked like going after DeAndre Ayton. A move like that, I don't know if that would have necessarily made us great. I talked about this before, like plenty of times, like different scenarios that the Spurs could go in, and I eventually just came down to the conclusion. This is way before we traded DJ, and I made videos on this. I came to the conclusion that, you know what, we probably need to just tank. We probably just need to blow it up. I've said that, and obviously the Spurs have went in that direction, which I think that's the only right direction. Any other direction the Spurs went in, we would have remained mediocre. It just wouldn't have worked out.
For Oklahoma City. Wrong. That's wrong. This is when we know that's their plan. No, we're not maxing out Dejounte. He's on a totally different timeline than Victor Wembanyama. There's no reason, and they know this.
The Spurs don't even know if they're going to give Victor Wembanyama, but sure.
More teams should know this. There's no reason to be a 10th seed in the West. There's no reason to be a 10th seed in the East. You should either be the bottom or you should be striving for the top. In the middle area, you're just getting like the 10th or 11th pick in the draft, which is probably no one very good, and you're just in the land of mediocrity.
Yeah, you don't want to just be you don't want to be 10th seed over and over. Now don't get me wrong, Jeremy Sohan, I think that's a great pick. I think Josh Primo was an absolute steal. And even if you go back and you look at his stats with the G League, he did better than Dyson Daniels. So that's, we can make an assumption that Josh Primo would have probably been a top 5 pick in this draft that we have right here. But yeah, I'm just rambling a little bit, but a little bit more experience. If he would have went ahead and spent 1 year with the G League instead of coming to the San Antonio Spurs or entering the draft or whatever, he more than likely would have been a top 5 pick this season. So
you might as well go full rebuild at that point, which is what they're doing. Tank for a high draft pick, sell your assets off for future draft capital, which you can either package for a star or someone who you think is going to be a star, and then figure out a way to get back to the pinnacle. So everything seemed fine. Dejounte seemed fine with it.
Hey, she's fine thus far. I don't see, she's fine thus far. Some people sent me this and were like, you gotta watch this, but I mean, this is just a normal take.
He said many nice things. He said he was elated to be playing with Trae Young. They wanted to play with one another. He wanted to play in Atlanta, who is currently in win now mode, and that he loved his time in San Antonio.
Don't leave out the fact that he also wanted to play because of the fans. He said that. He said they have more fans or whatever. Like they, I'm being petty.
End of story, right? No, not end of story. Curiously, in what initially seemed at first glance like a departure from tank mode, the San Antonio Spurs signed Keldon Johnson, a 22-year-old player that casual fans probably have no idea who he is, to a 4-year, $74 million deal, a very big deal, and a deal similar to Dejounte Murray's original deal. A deal that would...
Kind of, but I mean, it's less money year after year, so it's an even better deal. Like it's a really smart deal from the San Antonio Spurs. Like very good business strategy there. It's just one of those things where you keep Keldon Johnson. You kind of see where your team is at in the next couple years, next 3 years. If you're winning, or you're starting to become a more winning team, then you give them that even bigger contract. If not, then hey, you have a really good trade piece. It's just a really smart business strategy that a lot of teams do.
Signify to those who weren't paying attention that.
And by the way, I didn't mention this. The cap space is actually the cap is going up, so the deal is even better than we can imagine. Like in the next few years, this deal that we have Keldon Johnson on it's incredible. So
maybe Keldon Johnson was the future of the Spurs, and maybe they were using him as their new Dejounte Murray, their new centerpiece to what they were building. Younger,
No.
Cheaper. And an Olympian.
He's not a
But
centerpiece.
dumb fans can't peep that this is what's not happening in San Antonio.
We're not building around Keldon Johnson, guys.
They have decided to structure his deal to make him another trade piece, right? So this troll said, tried to get under Dejounte Murray's skin on IG, and it worked. He said, bye-bye, fly, little birdie. Good luck getting to the second round. At least we got picks, and we're building around Keldon.
Now she's leaving out some context here, okay? DJ initially made a tweet that said that he was free and that he can do what he did. Like, he obviously made like a jab at the San Antonio Spurs. He wanted someone to talk trash so he could tell, or at least say his truth, right? Like, that's what really happened. And then a fan, like, she's saying it's just a troll. It wasn't just a troll. It was probably a fan that was genuinely upset. And he went back, even in plenty of comments or of positive vibes, positive comments, he replied to one that was negative. So he kind of stirred the pot, and then when he got people pissed off, he used that as an excuse to say what he wanted to say. So it wasn't just like some random troll or whatever.
Dejounte decided
that's why they said it. They didn't randomly come on his page and like just mess with him. Like, Spurs fans loved Dejounte Murray. Like, no one was saying anything negative about him.
fuck taking the high road. I'm going to pop back. I'm going to air out what's going on in San Antonio.
He never takes the high road, though. I'm sorry, guys. Just listen to what she has to say. I'm sorry.
Take back everything I ever said nice about this team. He said the way that system is set up, you're going to be losing for the next 15 years. It's a problem bigger than basketball. Then, when another fan said that he would regret leaving like Kawhi, he responded with 4 laughing emojis and said, "You're mad, LMAO," followed by a clown emoji. A problem bigger than basketball. Sheesh. I did a little digging, and I'll give you my thoughts in a second, but I want to talk really quickly about this Keldon Johnson deal and why Dejounte Murray should not feel salty about Keldon getting this money right now. Keldon's $74 million contract is set up where he's paid less and less money over time.
I'm really curious to where this is going. Like, I really want to know her take on this whole thing. I like her cadence. I really do like her cadence, like the way she speaks and stuff. But I need to see, well, where are we going with this? I mean, DJ's obviously in the wrong here. Like, I don't know. I mean, she spent like 3 minutes talking about how the Spurs are like great franchise, and then him saying, I just want to see her take on it.
So the back end of his contract is actually cheaper than what he's getting right now. So Keldon will be significantly underpaid in years 3 and 4 compared to what the market will be, specifically considering that we're going to get a new CBA agreement with larger salary caps, and a $17 million player is probably going to be some guy that's basically a two-way G League guy. People are going to getting paid like $90 million a year. So 17 in the Keldon Johnson schemes of things, pretty ideal. So now they have control over Keldon Johnson for another 4 years, and they'll most likely trade him in 3 years' time for 3 future firsts.
Well, maybe, or maybe not. Like, I don't know. I think this is a very like team-friendly deal. Keldon, I don't know. I don't know if the Spurs are going to trade Keldon. Like, to me personally, I think it just depends on what happens in the next couple of years. But I think it depends on if we already have a star, because Keldon is very essential. Like, he could be perfect for a team that's growing into a championship team, because he can do so many different things, and he can be kind of a torch, a human torch on this team. Like, he's I don't know. I just think that he could be very essential. I don't know if the Spurs are just going to throw him away. And honestly, Spurs hold on to players a little too long sometimes. And Keldon Johnson is very mature. I don't know. I guess it depends, but I don't know if they're just looking just to trade him, you know? I don't think that that's the idea that you have going into these deals. I don't think the Spurs have some like pessimistic view of these players and like, okay, we'll trade them in a couple years. No, I think they're pretty optimistic. Like, this is a really good contract, and we'll see what happens. But I don't think they're just thinking about trading like 2 years out. I mean, it's a possibility, it's an option, but that's not the initial reason for I don't know.
Just like they did Dejounte. So, of course, in this day and age, Dejounte Murray then deleted his comments. Screen caps don't live forever. He then clarified his statement a few hours later by tweeting, "You have no clue how deeply I love the fans and will do whatever for real fans. Me saying what I said had nothing to do with the fans. All that inside shit fake though. For real, for real." So he's like, yo, all that stuff I said about San Antonio, I still stand by that shit. They are whack. Problem's bigger than basketball. They're going to be terrible for 15 years. Probably the biggest sorry, not sorry tweet I've seen in a long ass time. Yeah,
Dude, his goodbye. Like, I don't know if you guys recall this. I didn't talk about all this because obviously I'm regarded as like the DJ hater, right? But I said this before, at least said it in my circle. I was like, that DJ's thank you San Antonio post, disingenuous. You could tell he did not care that he was leaving San Antonio. He doesn't care about the fans, bro. He's been disingenuous with the fans for a long time. Shoot, he was disingenuous even when he knew he asked for a trade. He knew he was going to get traded, and then he kept messing with fans saying, I don't know what's going on, leave me alone with all these trade rumors, when he was in the middle of it the entire time, and he was talking to Trae Young about it the entire time. He knew. He just wanted to mess with fans. That's not love for the fans. That's BS. You don't have love for the fans, bro. I'm sorry. That bothers me. It bothers me. It bothers me.
meant everything I said about San Antonio. That organization sucks. They're really the worst team to play for, period. For real, for real.
Well, he didn't say all that, but...
And you can tell the for real is what got me, right? The second for real was when I was like, maybe he's really for real, you know? Maybe something's going on there. Maybe I need to make a couple of calls. So I did a little Big J journaling. What I gather, maybe it's not all hearts and rainbows in San Antonio. Question is, when is Pop gonna retire? No one knows. I asked multiple people at at Summer League, and I was like, hey, do you guys know if Pop's retiring anytime soon? Because it doesn't seem like he would want to stick around for a full rebuild. He's a million, and some people said yes. He literally...
Wait, is this the argument for things aren't sunshine and rainbows in San Antonio? That we don't know when Pop's gonna retire? Because we have longevity in a coach and we don't know when he'll be gone? She's going to have to supply some real evidence for this. And I haven't heard her bring up the fact that DJ does this all the time at all. Okay, DJ does this with everybody. It's not just a Spurs. This is what he does on social media. He does what if he leave Atlanta Hawks in the next couple, I'll call it right now. If he leaves Atlanta Hawks in the next couple years, you're going to get the same stuff. He just does this. I don't know.
It looks like he created the Constitution. Plus lived when the dinosaurs did. And it's like he's got one foot in, he's got another foot watching Slovenian tape for the next Olympics. You know, he's kind of checked out. It doesn't even matter if he's coaching. This team, we're trying to lose games. I don't need to coach. It's kind of a perfect time to be a coach in the NBA. Literally just chill. Tell him.
Yo, this is going off the rails. Where is she? What? Pop doesn't care about... Is that what she said? Hold on. I heard that wrong. There's no way.
Literally looks like he created the Constitution. Plus lived when the dinosaurs did. And it's like he's got one foot in, he's got another foot watching Slovenian tape for the next Olympics. You know, he's kind of checked out. It doesn't even matter if he's coaching. This team, we're trying to lose games. I don't need to coach. It's kind of a perfect time to be a coach in the NBA. Literally just chill. Tell them nothing. Teach them nothing. Let them do whatever they want.
What?
Becky Hammond dipped. She's like, I can't wait anymore for this founding father to dip off into the sunset.
God, she's making so many this is so many assumptions. What is she talking about? He doesn't care about the main criticism that Pop gets is because he wins too much. That everyone was saying that we needed to lose more games, and last season he said, "Yeah, I can't tell my players to lose on purpose." What is she talking? He doesn't care about winning. Pop loves this. He loves it. This man got guys. When you're at that level, okay, when you have 5 championship rings, you're the most winningest coach in NBA history. You don't suddenly not care about winning no more. He's gonna always care about winning. What is she talking? Oh, this is off. Oh my God, this went off the rails.
And on top of that, another thing that I've heard, another word that was used to describe this franchise and the culture was militant. Yes, militant. I don't know that a young kid like Dejounte Murray would particularly resonate with a militant culture. Greg Popovich, like Coach K, former military guy, runs a very tight ship. We're talking curfews?
Dude, it's not a militant franchise. Okay, I've watched enough. Okay, I've paid attention enough of the San Antonio Spurs. It's not militant. Okay, nothing's militant. All it is that the Spurs just want you to be mature. Can you do that? Can you just be mature? Can you just do that? I mean, literally, it's like they can do whatever they want. They're grown adults. They can go out. They can have fun. They can do whatever. But at the end of the day, Pop wants you just to be mature. That's it. The franchise just expects professionalism out of you. That's it. That's literally it. They might ask, hey, can you go out to dinner? Hey, I'm having a dinner at my house. You want to come by? Pop does that all the time. Obviously, he does wine tasting and all that. Like, yeah, but no.
On the road, where you're not seeing anyone but your team on the road, that's enforced. Curfews for grown men. More strictly enforced than it was at the Walt Disney bubble. So, practices that feel like Top Gun Maverick. Like you got the big wide open room with desks and somebody up there and making sure you're locked and loaded all the way in. No talking on the team bus on the way to games. Things I can't even believe. Things that
I have no idea who told her this, who fed her this information that the Spurs can't talk on the team bus. Who told her this? No. I mean, and I even have evidence of this. You guys remember back, was it 2019, I believe, with the San Antonio Spurs, they were having a great time on literally IG Live. I think they were in a jet, but I would assume that it would be the same thing on a bus, but they were having a great time. They were joking, drinking, laughing. I have no idea. What she's talking about. She's making it seem like it's a school trip and we have chaperones. Like, no, they can talk. Who told her this information?
I had to shake my head and say, am I being fed a load of shit here?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all good and fine when you're winning championships, but they haven't won a championship since 2014. Strict rules hit a little different when you're in the play-in tournament. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all good when you got champagne and goggles and everybody's eating steak and drinking wine and sharing personal stories to make you cry and like Greg Popovich is giving you hugs. No, this is not that anymore. So I tell you what, 2023 projected number 1 overall pick, Victor Wembanyama, number 1. They better fucking get him. And number 2, he better be the second coming Michael Jordan, because Dejounte Murray might be right. The Spurs might be in a 15-year losing drought and just rebuild after rebuild.
DJ does this all the time. I don't know how this got in this direction. I said earlier I wanted to hear her take. Oh my God. I'm lost for words. She said that she's done her research, but like, if you did your research, you would realize that DJ does this like every few minutes. Like, I don't. We can't talk on the bus. I have no idea where this came from. I have no idea what she's talking. And no, DJ isn't right that the Spurs are going to be losing for the next 15 years. No, DJ's just wrong. Okay, he had a dumb take. He's wrong. NBA players can be wrong, and DJ has been wrong a lot. Okay, through his tweets and through, you know, the people he talk about. He's always been pretty wrong. I no. Oh my God.
After rebuild, with Pop collecting checks that he maybe shouldn't even cash, like his name is Steve Nash.
Oh man, we're gonna have to go back to her. We're gonna have to go on her channel and like, does she have any other Spurs take? We're gonna have to go through, and we're gonna have to watch some more. I can't believe this. That was weird. That was so weird. It started off so good, and it just became unhinged. Oh, here's it. Popovich purposely ejected. He's always been Okay, we're saving this. We're saying, guys, we have to go through more of her videos. This is crazy. This is wow. Anyways, I'll get with you guys later. Support the channel, $2 per month. Yeah, I'll leave the link to this video below. Yeah.